Stay City Apart Hotels. Half apartment, half hotel. Warm beds, comfy sofas, and fully equipped kitchens. We offer guests more, so you can do more. Cook, sleep, work, play. Welcoming, accommodating, and big beds for jumping. Smart travellers choose Stay City because Stay City is the smart choice. Stay City, half apartment, half hotel, all across Europe. Save 10% every time you book at staycity.com.
We're delighted to extend the partnership with Go Ahead Ireland. They're an organisation that serves communities all over Dublin and helps serve our club members around the county, and it's been a brilliant partnership for the last 3 years, and we're delighted to extend for a further 2 years.
Like us, Dublin GAA are embedded in their community, so it was a really natural fit. For us, it was important to find a partner that was inclusive, but also had that community identity, and that's exactly what we found in Dublin GAA. Since we started the partnership, they've been really easy to work with, and we're really excited to continue the journey together.
In those 3 years, we actually accomplished a lot with Dublin GAA. We were privileged to be able to work with both local and national charities with them, as well as working on several GAA initiatives.
This partnership allows us to support Club League and Championship with initiatives such as our Dubs TV live streaming platform. We try and stream as many games as possible, particularly during the Championship season where we can from a logistical point of view around grounds, and that is something we will continue to try and deliver over the coming years and keep enhancing Club Championship product and club leagues around the county across all 4 codes.
In the coming months, we're going to be continuing growing our services. And while we do that, that means that we'll be serving more GAA community clubs than ever before.
This year alone, we're going to be introducing the Development Fund for Accessibility as part of our partnership, which is going to see core infrastructure at Dublin GAA developed. In the summer, we're also introducing the Go Ahead Ireland Dublin LGFA Summer Skills Camps, which will be held in July and August.
As Dublin's best performing public bus operator, we're going to continue to work really hard on delivering for our customers and our communities.
We met down in Fairview, and Kieran's brother was a friend of my brother's. We met through them, so when I was coming up to the Debs, I invited Kieran to my Debs. He asked me to marry him, and I said yes, so long as our firstborn child played for Vincent's. And he said, okay, grand. It's great to have our family involved as well. I suppose if the kids weren't as interested in it as we were, it'd be very tough on us.
Kieran's are playing Vincent's. The tension in the house is gas. Mum is obviously Vincent's and Dad is Kieran, so Mum always claims that she'll give John steak for dinner and she won't feed Kevin. But it's always a bit of a laugh, but I suppose no one takes it too seriously.
She had her hands full. She could have got a job as a bus driver. The amount of dropping off and picking up she did from matches around. Leaving some matches early to go to another match to make sure she got the end of that, or make sure we all got the same amount of attention. There was no favourites.
It means everything. I don't know what we do without it, to be fair. We eat, drink and sleep it.
It's always through the family like the rest of us. There's not enough supporting words, I'd say.
I know my whole life at this rate.
We're very proud parents. That's a huge achievement to have 100% of your family still playing. And we're proud of them all, every one of them.
My name is Niamh Heatherton.
My name is John Heatherton. I'm Kieran Heatherton.
I'm Patsy Heatherton, and as a family,
our roots are set in the GAA.
It is the Go Ahead Ireland Senior 1 Dublin Hurling Championship. Whitehall Colmcille taking on St Judes. In the other game in the group in O'Toole Park, a game that runs concurrently, Grave Kieran will take on Ballyboden. Now, Ballyboden have already secured their spot in the knockout stages. St Vincent's have won this group. They're on their bye weekend, so they don't play. Whitehall Colmcille take on St Judes here, knowing if they avoid defeat, then they are through. A draw will do for Whitehall Colmcille. A win also will suffice. For St Jude's, they have to win, and even that might not be enough. It will rather complicate things in the group. We'll keep an eye on the other game and let you know how things look as the day continues. Joe Fortune here with me for this one. Whitehall Colmcille against St Jude's. Joe, basically knockout hurling today.
Yeah, for the first time we've been here this year, Oisin, you can have all your group games as much as you want, but this should be cutthroat knockout today, because whoever wins today goes forward into a quarter final more than likely. So you'd expect They really, look, Whitehall have really improved this year. Been really impressed. Anytime we've seen them, they've had to do without Owen for one of their games as well, and he's back looking at like 14 today as well. But we were here one of the days with Judes. Probably our biggest criticism that day was that Danny did so well at 6 or dropping off to 6, but just didn't get forward that day as well. And probably at the time where they nearly really needed to win the game, they didn't push him up front. So I'm expecting, you have to expect. Look, you've spent the whole year training. It's now the middle of September, and it's knockout. Whoever loses today is sitting down until next January.
It's pretty vicious, isn't it, in Dublin? If you finish in the top 3 in the group, you go on to the knockout stages. You go straight to the semi-finals in St Vincent's case. But if you finish in the bottom 2 of the group, you're going into the relegation playoffs. Now, St Judes were relegated a couple of years ago. They bounced back last year by winning Senior Hurling 2. If they stay where they are at the moment, they face the potential of that trapdoor again.
They do, and the biggest worry for any of the teams, I think, that are in the relegation is that Coola are in on that side as well, because Coola haven't qualified, and that's going to be an absolute monstrous task to try and overcome that. From where Coola were, and we're very unlucky the last day. Like, we'll see the second game here today. Lucan were more or less gone, and incredible, real resilience at the end from John Bellew and Chris, and that at the end ended up getting a goal. So, there's a lot at stake here for Judes today, and for Whitehall as well. It's been, like I said, I've been really impressed with the improvements that Whitehall have made this year, and they're not just relying on one man. The whole team that are coming through at the minute, the young Rafferty looks really good. Luke McCarthy, I was really impressed the last day with Owen's brother Enda. I think Enda has something to offer, a real low centre of gravity, quite athletic as well. So look in for it. I'd imagine this first 10 minutes will be physical, because Judes will want to be in that kind of in the face of Whitehall, and again, 2 really proud hurling clubs, and it'll be interesting to see does Costello start for Whitehall as well, because if he does, and when he has a hurl in his hand, he can be dynamic.
Well, he is, as you can see, named to start. Owen O'Donnell is up top. If needs be, he can drop back into the back line. Ronan Murray, a steady hand between the sticks, isn't he? He
is, yeah, and the full back line in front of Mushin as well have been really quite steady all year. Young Keane Murphy has done well. Sean Kellett has had a fine year, but even watching Cormac Costello just warming up, it just looks like it just doesn't take any effort from him. Even when Con comes back from football as well, Cormac is just hitting balls off his left and right there from 60 yards at ease. So as much as he's a huge footballer for the Dubs, he's a massive loss from a hurling point of view as well.
Well, let's move on and have a look at the St Jude's starting 15. Danny Sutcliffe at 6, Ger McManus behind him. The worry is obviously, if you have Danny back there, do you have the scoring power up front?
That's a really good question. I think I like this young Callum Graham at 13. I've been impressed every time I've seen him, even at underage coming through as well. He's a young guy, he's loads of potential going forward. What's interesting today is Owen McLaughlin is back. I haven't seen him in a while for Judes. A really fine, strong half-back or cornerback. Kieran Mangan's in there as well. Will they have enough? The big question for me is, can Ger, who's a great lad, a really, really good fella, can he hold O'Donnell? Because if O'Donnell's at 14, he's going to cause problems. And Ger is a big physical guy too, and you'd imagine that's going to be a serious battle to tell you, because we know every time that ball goes in, it looks like goal from O'Donnell.
Well, it might still be the pool/group stages, but it's effectively knockout. And as we know, the right teams, the good teams, the winning teams, they do it in the knockout stages, whatever about the group, and it's practically the knockout stages.
Yeah, look, you can have your, as we call it, you can have your autumn internationals as much as you want. The reality is, when it comes to real championship stuff, who has it? And we're going to find out now in the next few minutes between Whitehall and Judes who really has it.
St Jude's in the navy, Whitehall Colmcille in the white and red, and we're about to get underway. Our referee, by the way, is Sean McCarthy, and as you have observed on many occasions, Joe, we're lucky in Dublin that we have so many good referees.
Yeah, look, Sean is there. We've the 3 or 4 lads that are inter-county level as well, and Thomas Gleeson's doing the second match today. But we're lucky, and the one thing I like about Sean is he lets it go. There's no he lets that bit of physical stuff into it as well, and we need that, because when the Dublin teams end up going out of Dublin then after winning a county final for years, I just felt that they hit a wall of what reality really is, and I think the 3 lads and Sean and a couple more allowed that kind of physical battle to ensue.
Well, the winter is closing in. The ground just a tiny little bit softer. We're getting into what you might call traditional club weather, even though the season has changed. We've got the split season and there's more hurling now played in the
Danny's
summer.
gone wing forward. Oisin, sorry for your kind of stopping your Marty Morrissey kind of stuff there, but you can see Danny's gone wing forward and Dara Gray is picking him up.
You're starting early. St Jude's have made a late switch with Alan Connolly coming in. It is Whitehall Colmcille with the first possession. O'Donnell goes down inside the square. The referee says nothing doing, and St Jude's look to go long, and another late change is Kieran Hogan, bounced into Sutcliffe, who, as Joe has told you, has gone up top rather than at the back. Alan Connolly, who could take a score and also supply a pass. Through it goes, and it's defended very well by Cian Murphy. Cian Murphy kept it out in front. That's what you always tell your defenders to do. Into the hand now of Adam McDermott. Adam McDermott assessing his options, going long-ish, and it might break here for the corner forward Niall O'Connor, who comes out to meet it. He's tangled with by Owen McLaughlin, and Owen McLaughlin goes back inside. Another late change there is James Nugent. James Nugent, that's risky enough, and just missing out on that one was Luke McCarthy. If he got it, he was away, but instead it's the opposition who have it, and it's a shot coming in from Conor Nolan, and Conor Nolan absolutely nails it. That's a good opening score for St. Jude's.
It is, Ush, and it all came from McLaughlin out on the far side, like a real physical battle over there. He'll fight all day for ball, and a great ball to Conor Nolan, and a very, very good score to start the game for Judes.
One of Whitehall Colmcille got by way of a response. The ball getting trapped in the sod there. A very good sod, but as I say, just that little bit softer. And had you allowed me to finish my Marty Morrissey style soliloquy, I would have told people that. But now they know, because they can see it. It's kicked on by Rafferty and trying to go after it there. Raftery. And now trying to pick it up again is Raftery. He never gives up on anything. It's Owen O'Donnell, who is a mix of a bull and a ballerina. He gives it out there to Adam McDermott. Adam McDermott's shot goes wide. Wide,
and fair battle on the ground in there as well, like a lot of serious tussles earlier on, and it's great to see O'Donnell come out to the right hand side there as well. Probably could have went straight, but saw McManus in front of him, but a lot of off the ball physicality as well, which is great stuff.
Ball breaks here for Eddie Moran. Eddie Moran just chasing after, couldn't quite keep it in play, then does the smart thing and just holding up Joe McManus and allowing himself to get back into position, and allowing his fellow Whitehall Colmcille men to get into position. Mightn't make a whole pile of difference if McLaughlin has measured this one right. He has not. It's a first wide for St. Jude's.
Yeah, first wide, he'll be disappointed. Probably had the chance as well, Oisin, to run it a bit more. Like, that shooting from that distance, you need a fair strike. That short ball is going to constantly go to Dara Gray, so Danny's going to have to mind that if he's out at 12.
Dara Gray's after picking up Cormac Costello. So good to see him out there. Cormac Costello gliding. Cormac Costello, it's going to drop in or around towards Owen O'Donnell. Owen O'Donnell has a poke at that one, but couldn't keep it in play.
Yeah, that's the first two balls for Ger inside. The first one, Owen went down and Ger came out, but that's the second one he's won now inside. But you can see on the far side, Costello, he's going to take minding in there. Dara Gray is looking at Danny, so you can see he's sitting back into the 5 as well here now as well.
Spellacy has started, by the way, for Whitehall Colmcille. That was always going to be the case. Ball breaks down. Who's going to break to? Blue or red and white? Well, it doesn't fall to red and white. They battle for it and they almost had it there. Then Callum Graham gets onto it. Callum Graham flicks it off. Might get it back here from Conor Nolan, and the move breaks down, and that's real frustration for Whitehall, for St. Jude's. Now it's Adam McDermott.
Yeah, I like this Callum Graham. He's a good young player. Probably could have went himself there as well. Like,
Spellacy was smothered. Trying to get onto the break there is James Nugent. Battling for it now is Kieran Mangan. Kieran Mangan is robbed of it by Spellacy. Spellacy with a one-handed pull down towards Owen O'Donnell. Owen O'Donnell chasing after this one. Has a bit of time, has a bit of space, and will surely now have the point. He does. It's the equaliser.
Yeah, good score by O'Donnell. And Paddy, you kind of thought that Paddy had lost out there, but just that little one-handed strike up front, and it's kind of nearly two mistakes that have caused both scores now as well. So a good start, a good lively start to it. 1 point apiece. We'll try and keep an eye on what's happening between Craig Kieran and Ballyboden St. Enda's. But hurling being the sport it is, you don't get the chance to take your eyes off it that often. Here's Luke McCarthy. Luke McCarthy, he'll move that ball all day, won't he? Good hand pass to Enda O'Donnell. Enda O'Donnell, like the brother, very strong. Inside to Dara Gray. Speaking of strength, Dara Gray with a good pass back outside to O'Donnell. O'Donnell is winding up and going for this one. It certainly has the legs. Does it have the accuracy? It does. Score. That is an amazing score by Enda O'Donnell. It is super score, and I'm surprised that he's that far out the field. I thought he was excellent the last time I saw him inside with the brother too. So he's a super strike of a ball, and from 60-70 yards there. Big wind there rushing today as well for people at their home, so it's blustering around the place, not necessarily favouring anybody, but great strike.
Robert Wade knows how to move his players around. He started managing the junior Bs and has risen all the way up to the senior grade. He's a man who gives an awful lot back to the club, Robert Wade. He also coaches the RCSI team, the Royal College of Surgeons Ireland. Line ball to St. Jude's. Joe McManus. The pitch in really good condition. Grey skies overhead, but dry for the moment. Fumbled and then regathered by Cian Murphy.
Yeah, Whitehall seem to have 4 defenders there every time against 2 attackers, so Judes are quite defensive at the moment, so there's just something to keep an eye on.
Costello wins the free in. He might need it. Costello from right out the country. Well, the advantage is coming anyway.
Yeah, good advantage by Sean there, but again, you see the strike, from a man we haven't seen hurling that much in the last couple of years, but he's so much ability if you can get ball in fast to him.
Paddy Spellacey will line up the free.
I think this could be a big bearing on games as well between Paddy and Joe McManus. Like your free taker, I say it week after week, it's such an important part. To get to that next level, you have to have a 90-95%er, and Paddy's been very good this year, championship boys.
Spellacey delivers, as you would expect him to do. First free of the game for Whitehall Colmcille. And 3 in a row has them leading by 2. Might come to McManus. Good pick up. Doesn't have a whole pile of room and loses the ball. Whitehall Colmcille turn it over very well and go long. It's traditional hurling down towards Owen O'Donnell. Owen O'Donnell takes it and he's being fouled, and it's a free in.
And he was away. He's not happy because he was away and on goal. And funny, when they came out with the ball, Adam McDermott had come across here on his own. Really easy ball to give, but O'Donnell not happy because he sees some man to catch a ball there, but Jared just had a hold on him, so it's an easy free now for Paddy.
Sometimes you'll get away with that as a full-back, sometimes you won't. Spellacey will knock over a 4th in a row for his team and a 2nd in a row for him. But it's always a good option, isn't it? Just go long.
It is, yeah, and maybe some teams forget about it now. Everything has to go through the lines, but if you have a man in there capable of winning at a 14, give him the ball in and give it in early.
He loves the battle, doesn't he?
He does, but it gives a headache to when you're the manager. Like he's probably the best in the top 3 fullbacks in the country, and then at club level you see what he can do with forward. And I know that's where he had that really annoying injury this year for Dublin in the Walsh Cup. He ended up being put up front against Galway, I think it was, and ended up missing most of the National League because of it.
Ball down towards Paddy Spellacey. Can Spellacey get there? Chasing back to try and get to him is Hogan. Just not quite enough pitch. Spellacey did his best to get there but couldn't.
See what I mean by how defensive Judes are to me? Like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like they're so defensive. The 2 boys inside, there's a good bit of space in there in front, but they're very defensive in how they're looking at it.
Ross O'Reilly, the goalkeeper. That's a brilliant win by Dara Gray, now into the path of Enda O'Donnell. Enda O'Donnell, who can shoot and run. Enda O'Donnell looking for his 2nd score, doesn't get it. 3rd wide by my count for Whitehall Colmcille. 3rd wide from a shot anyway.
Yeah, and a fair engine, Oisin, when he got on the ball there. Like you see, he covers ground. Like he has that low centre of gravity.
Speaking of covering ground, here's Costello. O'Donnell into a bit of space. Costello takes it on himself. Costello fancies a go here. It is Costello. Costello! Good save. Very good save.
Good height for the keeper to save it, but like what a run again, and nearly into the side net himself. But good save. I remember as a young player, Oisin, he was just electric. Himself and Kieran Kilkenny were just absolutely unmarkable at minor level. But he hasn't played at this level, for consistently for a while. But when he gets the ball today, he has that sense about him that he's going to go for goal.
It is admirable that he just went for it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Spellacey.
Danny just telling the Judes player just to relax there now, because it's 4 points to 1 to get this one. They're 4 points behind. They need their forwards to win ball, and ball has come through. Whitehall's backs have been very, very good so far.
Spellacey dissects the posts. 3 in a row for him. 5 in a row for Whitehall Colmcille. O'Reilly fumbled, and it just allows Niall O'Connor to try and close his man down, but Judes get away with it. Here is a long ball down the park. Judes get possession. Now can they get a score? Graham, a player that you like, and I can see why. He was unlucky there.
He just looks a little bit nervous. Like he's very light as a young player, but I've seen him a few times coming up along at underage level, and he's really impressed me every time I've seen him. He's got a great man outside of him, Danny, but just the shooting twice now, he's been a little bit off with it.
It was left behind there, and Langan tries to steal in and get it. He does very well. Goes short to Sutcliffe. Great bouncing ball to McManus. Great block by Sean Kellett. There's something very satisfying about hearing the clash of the ash, isn't there?
Yeah, and Joe needed to move the feet there now and break the tackle again, because you're 40-50 yards out. He'll know that himself. Like, it's just a little bit easy for the Whitehall defenders at the moment.
Sean Kellett, who's part of a coaching team for the under-16s at the moment. There's one or two other seniors involved there, and that's Danny Sutcliffe who puts it over.
Yeah, you can see Oisin as well. When they get the ball, they are looking for Danny quite a lot, and Dara Gray has been. But this is where Dara Gray will damage if the Whitehall keeper had seen him. He'll make that run to the right every time and travels great ground in with it.
First score since the first minute for St Judes. Endo O'Donnell will look to respond. He's got plenty of space to run into. Could have taken it on a bit further. Instead, leaves himself a tight enough angle.
Great score.
But you know what? He likes a challenge and put it over.
Yeah, great score. He's had a really good start to the game. One wide that he won't be happy with, but he's had a really good start. Very energetic around the middle.
I like that he didn't waste energy there. He said, you know what? I'll just take it from where I'm standing. Judes look to respond, but they are pickpocketed, and it's back with Whitehall, Colmcille, and taking off here is Owen O'Donnell. Owen O'Donnell has a runner to the left and right. O'Donnell takes it on himself. He might just pop this one over. He does.
Yeah, and Cormac made a huge run on the left hand side. Paddy was on the right, and I think O'Donnell was going towards Spellacy's direction with the ball, but just got blocked down. But again, every time he gets the ball, he looks dangerous.
As we are, Whitehall, Colmcille will join Ballyboden, St Enda's and St Vincent's in the knockout stages. Vincent straight to the semi-finals, of course. St Jude's and Crave Kieran are heading into the relegation playoffs. Of course, those two met in the Senior Hurling 2 final last year.
Yeah, look, there's a long way to go yet, but you'd imagine there will be a bite here now in Jude's at some stage. Joe McManus has been quiet so far. Haven't really seen much yet of McLaughlin inside, so they just need to get that ball. If they're going short, the touch has to be better. Just a couple of times there, they fumbled that short puck out.
When this one lets up for a second, we'll try and bring you a score from O'Toole Park. McLaughlin trying to block him down there was Mikey Noonan, but he got the ball away, McLaughlin. John Carty. Good take and turn by John Carty. Carty eyeing up the post, getting his shot away. It might drop inside the square. Murray has to be careful, and is. He's marked by Graham, but was able to roll it out to Luke McCarthy. Luke McCarthy, who can really move it, does very well. Raftery trying to get away from Langan. Good turn by Raftery. He's got wheels, doesn't he? This is really good running by Raftery. Throws it up to O'Donnell. O'Donnell gets his third of the game.
And probably could have went himself. He covered great ground, in fairness, young Raftery, and he'd done really, really well and just popped it off O'Donnell. O'Donnell's making it look easy there at the moment, and they're just going to need to be a little bit tighter. And it's easy to say that because is it easy to mark him? Absolutely not. He's just a serious engine when he's got ball in the hand. Great ball.
Just misjudged, running onto it now. Endo O'Donnell. They are not giving St Jude's a second. They are punishing every mistake, and now they have a free in.
Jude's heads are down to Ush, like you can see it. In the body language, they are down. Just need some bit of leadership there now, just to kind of stabilise it, because Paddy will have a fair shot at this now again, but I just think a bit too defensive for me for Judes at the minute, and Whitehall, when the ball is going inside, they're eating it up inside, so they've got some really tenacious, tough defenders, and Judes will be disappointed so far. But look, a bit of leadership now in a couple of minutes, and somebody like Danny or Joe McManus to win a ball out here as well. It's needed at the moment.
Whitehall Colmcille won the relegation playoff last year to stay in Senior 1 hurling. Spellacy wants them to progress in Senior 1 hurling this year, and it looks like they will. It's a good start, but in hurling, things can turn quite quickly.
They can, but Paddy's been brilliant on the free so far, and anytime we've seen him this year, he's been very, very good for Whitehall, and that's a great score from the middle of the field.
Good take. Nolan, probing ball. Sutcliffe leaves it behind. He's pickpocketed by Dara Gray. Dara Gray gave it off there to Mikey Noonan. Noonan overcooks it. Great flick in there by Raftery. Spellacy. Spellacy just keeps it going. Couldn't pick it up, but didn't give it away. Oh, commentator's curse. Here's Owen McLaughlin. Sutcliffe.
Great ball.
Fantastic ball. Graham's there. If the man who gets onto it now can find him, that's John Carty. Carty followed all the way by Cian Murphy. It's good running by Carty. Has McManus there if he needs it as well. McManus, he'll have a go.
Wide, it's just in the back foot, Oisin. It's just not. they're not themselves there now today, because it was a ball. It came back a little second, maybe too late. He should have given it to him the first time, but Joel realised himself, like, off the back foot, it's going to be a hard score to take, and they still end up on 2 points at the moment with a 7-point gap. Change coming in here now.
Dara Malone has come in. Cian Langan has gone off. I wonder, did Cian tweak that knee? He's carrying an injury, and it's, well, not a place to have an injury, is it? And if you're in any way off, teams like Whitehall, Colmcille will expose you. Here's Noonan.
Yeah, all came from
Noonan
O'Donnell
puts
again.
it over, yeah.
What a catch.
See, I reckon that is more injury than form for Cian Langan. If you've got an injured player, I suppose you're better off starting him and seeing what you can get out of him.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, Cian's a fine player as well,
Yeah,
and like, you know, with Judes, like, you can just see the heads are down. They need something here now, just a bit to give them a bit of life, because so far they'll realise that just the ball is just not sticking whatsoever with them at all.
Okay, that score did not count. The flags were crossed, so no 10th point, not right now. Can St Jude's get a third? Callum Graham.
Yeah, good score.
A very good score by Callum Graham. That's a 2-point swing.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, when he has the ball, he has so much pace, and that's what I love about him. And he has that. He's going to take him a while at this level to really push on, but I think he's definitely one for the future.
Murray picks out Gray. Gray with a lovely little hand pass. Here's Adam McDermott.
Yeah,
that's a really good score. They're just moving it so well, making the right decisions, and it's all going well so far for Whitehall Colmcille.
Yeah, and what surprised me is that it just looks a little bit easy at the minute for them. You know, Judes are normally that in-your-face, aggressive team. They're just a little bit off form today, and like, Whitehall have massively dominated that half-back line.
And now Whitehall have got the line ball as well. As we've mentioned, a team full of coaching knowledge. Mikey Noonan assisting with the under-14s. He's also in with the Dublin under-19s. Niall O'Connor is co-managing the under-15s with Kevin Nangle. As we've already mentioned, Derry Noonan managing the minor team. Ronan Murray working with the goalkeepers. They're certainly a senior team who give back to their club. Here's John Carty trying to give his club a point, and he has got it. It's a good one too.
Good score, and the Whitehall lads are typical of that. There's great lads. You see, even the likes of Cormac Ryan, who's not playing anymore. Like, all those lads give massively back to the club. Their numbers wouldn't be as high as probably some of the bigger clubs in Dublin, but they're good lads, and they know what it means to play for the club as well, which I think is massively important.
Cian Murphy is getting some running repairs. Whitehall Colmcille, who don't have a huge squad, as you've just mentioned, potentially losing their fullback here, or the man who's wearing 3. And it looks like Conor Cummins may be coming on. Good battling by St Jude's at the back, and coming away with it was Hogan. He's fouled, free out.
He's rightfully annoyed there now because he got the ball.
So Conor Cummins, who's better known as Gooch around Whitehall Colmcille, replaces Cian Murphy. And for Cian Murphy, I imagine he's hoping that he'll be okay for the knockout stages. It's looking good at the moment for Whitehall Colmcille.
It is, yeah. You're only 2 weeks away though to get the body right again. Like, if it's anything significant, you could miss out in the quarter final, which would be like I said, Whitehall have improved this year, and getting to a quarter final would be a huge achievement.
Coming straight into it with the big high lofted ball down towards Cormac Costello. Costello covers the ground, but covering it quite well himself was Kieran McLaughlin, who goes inside. Nice bit of trickery there by Kieran Hogan. However, they have given it away. Juggling it is Adam McDermott. McDermott inside to Cummins, who's already had 2 possessions since coming in. Big high long ball down into the forwards. McManus chasing after this one, Ger rather than Joe, and McManus doing the clever thing of just shielding it and allowing it to go wide.
Yeah, and a little chance now. There's a again, you have somebody here now on the 40. This is the easy puck out to give, but just a little bit slow, I think. I know they have to wait for that whistle, but just a little bit slow on the puck outs at the minute.
Well, yeah, 10-4 is the right score. There's a bit of confusion because 11-4 is on the scoreboard here, but I think there was a point counted maybe that was later disallowed. So we'll clarify that in a second. So I think it is a 6-point lead. We can check that with the assistant referee in a second. That's the great thing about here in Parnell Park. You can quite literally shout down to them.
Chance now for Joe to bring it back to 5. You know, having not playing well so far. So I think what Judes need, if they can keep it to 3, 4, 5 before the break, they'll be happy, because they're going to need to get they'll get an awakening now at half time, a real awakening, to see do they want to head into a relegation game or not.
Joe McManus sticks that one over. Two in a row for St. Jude's, the first time they've done that today. O'Donnell comes deeper to collect the possession when it's needed, and that's a really good ball and time and space for Dara Gray, who has a go, and Dara Gray has a point.
Yeah, great score. Again, comes from O'Donnell. Smart ball out to the hand on the left. You know, makes it look simple. Good strike by Dara and a good score.
O'Donnell coming back, but he doesn't beat his man. His man is Diarmuid McLaughlin. Diarmuid McLaughlin farming it towards Graham. Graham just gives a little bit too much of that to the defender. In fairness, he got himself out of trouble, having got himself into trouble. And has he got a point as well? No, he's unlucky.
Just unlucky, yeah. And again, it's just a couple of scores now that he could have 4 beside his name quite easily now at the minute, and when he only has the 1. So look, he learned from that too. Good defending against by Whitehall in fairness as well.
I thought he'd shown too much of it when he kind of flicked it high in the air. It was a tough one to take, but he did well to get it and get the shot away. Here's Costello. He didn't pick it up off the ground according to the officials. Maybe he's given that one a little bit too much. Niall O'Connor chasing it. Niall O'Connor tangling up the defender. And now it's O'Donnell. O'Donnell, who just doesn't let anything go, does he? O'Donnell's still on it. Now it's McDermott. McDermott looking for an outball. Mikey Nuno is there. Too, yeah. McDermott has to spill it out to Owen O'Donnell. Owen O'Donnell from out the country. Owen O'Donnell. Brilliant.
And it all came from the brother, really, didn't it? The brothers fighting on the ground, that willingness to kind of go for ball, and Owen's left on his own out here, 55 yards from goal, and an easy point for him.
O'Reilly aiming it down towards Sutcliffe, who does break it, and it falls kindly for Mangan. Mangan, good ball inside. Graham shows for it. It's a long ranger. Is it an effective one there from Dara Malone? No, it's not.
A couple of poor wides now by Judes, Oisín. Do you know that are important scores? Like if they can keep it, like we said, to a 4 or 5 point game before half time, it gives them a real chance in the second half.
Ronan Murray hits it down towards Owen O'Donnell. Owen O'Donnell against 3 defenders, still almost won it, but it breaks kindly here for Malone.
They seem to put James Nugent back on O'Donnell now as a man marker.
John Carty, behind you is the shout from Conor Nolan. Now it does come to Nolan, and he does well to keep it going. Nolan has it in hand. Nolan now on the stick. Nolan gives it off to Graham, but it wasn't a particularly good pass, and McDermott steals in and retrieves.
Nobody with him, made the run down the centre and looked to his right, nobody there, and gave Callum a really poor ball. So Callum definitely won't thank him for that one.
Mikey Noonan trying to pick out Spellacy, but just gave that one a little bit too much. Rolled back into Ross O'Reilly. McManus gives this one plenty of legs. 2-on-3 in favour of Whitehall Colmcille. It was almost grabbed by John Carty. Here's Luke McCarthy. Out from Cummins. Intercepted a bit too casual. Here's Diarmuid McLaughlin. McLaughlin followed by Endo O'Donnell.
This will be a free on his back.
The referee lets it go, and Whitehall Colmcille turn it over, and here's Dara Gray. Moran looking for Owen O'Donnell. Owen O'Donnell takes it.
Oh, Shane, come on, that's Cormac Costello. We're getting the footballers and the hurlers mixed up here now. Come on, there's a big difference.
Owen O'Donnell played football for Dublin as well. Here is Owen O'Donnell.
No, that one's wide.
It's the bright boots that caught me. But really, I've no excuse, Joe. You wouldn't take an excuse from a player, so you shouldn't take one from me. Different colour helmets, different build. I apologise. Are you happy now? You've humiliated me in front of the
You can
audience.
see
Are you
by
happy
you
now?
can see by young Costello there that he's annoyed at the minute because he's not really getting to have O'McLaughlin on him, who's he's a tidy man marker, and Cormac wants a bit of space. He's not really getting it yet, but
Sutcliffe gets a yellow card
for nothing.
McManus back to O'Reilly.
Jeez, I often wonder about that short puck, Oisin, when you're going to do the same thing. Now, if it works out, brilliant, but great take.
Carty takes it brilliantly. Cummins follows him. All he can do is try and narrow the angle, but
Great
Carty
score.
puts it over. Nothing that Cummins could do there. He did everything right, but Carty, when he's in the form for it, can produce that
He
kind of
got a
magic.
fair bang on the hand as well, for his trouble too, but a good score. He looks like he's holding the hand, but just sometimes with that sharp puck out, if you're not working it through the lines and you're just going to hit it anyway, you'd love the keeper. Ger McManus is a serious puck of a ball, being a former Dublin keeper as well.
Owen O'Donnell flicked it onto Costello. Costello down the line looking for McDermott and finding him. Inside is Mikey Noonan. McDermott goes for his second score.
Yep.
And gets it.
Good score.
First half has absolutely flown by here. Remember, no extra time or anything like that. I mean, we said it's knockout hurling in a sense that the result does affect whether you progress or not for both of these teams. A draw will do for Whitehall, Colmcille. St Judes need to win and hope the results in O'Toole Park between Crave Kieran and Ballybowden St Enda's goes their way. Dara Gray is very smart, just says to Sean Kellett, walk away, calm down.
Yeah, Dara and Danny having a fair battle there now as well, and Danny just needs to be careful because he's on that yellow card. Really impressed with Whitehall's defence so far. They're not giving an inch.
Sean Kellett and his marker James Nugent getting to know you. Noonan down the line. McLaughlin looking for Carty. Good defending by Cummins, really good defending by Cummins. Eddie Moran. Moran looking for the run there of Raftery. Referee spotted a foul, free in for St Jude's.
Yeah, good call, smart as well, and you can see Ger coming out there a few minutes ago as well. It was a little bit uncomfortable, but a couple of heavy strappings on some of the Judes lads there as well. You can see that you can see just his run up the field. Connolly has a strap on the leg as well, and obviously Ger's right knee is at him.
Ross O'Reilly, who has a lumper of a puck. Just off frame, unlucky. Ronan Murray going long. Spellacy's under that one. It breaks for Whitehall. Colmcille has to kind of ride the gauntlet there and wins the free in.
Yeah, an advantage, a good advantage given again, and just that whole idea of putting the ball on top of Paddy. Paddy can grab the ball out of the sky, but just really good work over by Noonan on the far side as well. Small man, but well able to loves that physical battle.
And it allows Spellacy the chance for another score. Four by my count from place balls. Will it be five? I'm sure it will, whether that's now or later. And it's now.
He's been excellent today on the frees. Again with a blustery wind down there. It's fair showing up from his frees. They've been very good.
Well, St Jude's unfortunately not progressing in the Senior 1 Football Championship. They don't want to follow suit in the hurling. This one not done yet, and when you've got players like Graham, you can get scores. Steaming after this one now is Alan Connolly. Will he get there? No, he won't.
An awful ball to give Mushin though. Jeez, there's two lads inside and you're getting the ball to 30 yards from goal and just driving it up high on a young guy's head. Surely they can work it a bit better than that.
Noonan got it down the line for Spellacy. He couldn't keep it in. Did well to actually get to it. If anything, he knew what he was doing. Just kind of held St Jude's up. Allowed Whitehall, Colmcille to get defensively set. And here they are again with Cummins, who squirts it to his man right beside him. That man is Sean Kellett. Sean Kellett gives this one plenty, but it's wide. McLaughlin closed down by O'Donnell. John Carty, good ball inside. He takes it on. He goes for it. It is Owen McLaughlin. It is unfortunately for St. Jude's not a score.
No, and they worked the ball better that time. Just the shoot just didn't work for Owen that time. But again, look, they'll realise themselves, like your championship hurling, your 5-6 points after whatever half an hour, they'll know themselves that's not good enough, and they're going to have 30 minutes now in the second half to save themselves the opportunity of having to go into a relegation game.
Thorpe gets it back from Cummins. Thorpe gave it to Cummins in the first place. Thorpe kicks it on. That's a really good play. They don't give up on anything, these Whitehall Colmcille boys, and Raftery's won the free in. Yeah,
well done. Like he did really well there and could have fallen from the free with a hurling around his neck, so got a tap on the back from O'Donnell there to say well done. And some young players coming through for Whitehall are impressing me anytime I've seen them this year. Really, really good, solid lads that are. There's no weakness in any of the lines there, and if they get to a quarter final, Oisín, they won't. They'll give a team a fair game as well for whatever they have going for them. Like, and it's credited as a club as well. Like, they're bringing through some good young players, and they have some obviously seasoned dubs now in young Gray and O'Donnell as well.
Yellow card for Owen McLaughlin. It's on, isn't it? It is, yeah. And surely another score for Spellacy. Possibly the last one of the half. And that is half-time. Whitehall Colmcille leading by 9 points, 15-6. Joe, what have you made of it?
Yeah, Whitehall have been impressive when they needed to be. It's what surprised me is how at times Judes have kind of stood off them a good bit, made them look good. Like O'Donnell has been unmarkable inside, in fairness. Anytime that's gone in, I think he's got 4 or 5 from play. He's been very, very impressive. Whitehall's defence have been strong, aggressive, not giving any real space. Young Callum inside is a good young player. He's got 1 from play, a couple of wides that he'll know himself he'll have to improve on. But apart from that, up front, you've said it a couple of times, and we've said it over the last couple of years, especially. It's not working for Judes up front at the moment. And when they go defensive and they allow that extra defender, Dara Gray is smart. He's dropping back into the pockets when Danny comes back into midfield. So, yeah, look, Judes are facing an uphill battle now in the second half, Oisín. With yourself, if they lose today, they're looking at a relegation game in 2 weeks' time.
As we are, Whitehall Colmcille will join Ballyboden in the quarter-finals of the Go Ahead Ireland Senior 1 Dublin Hurling Championship. St Vincent's have already won the group. Later on, by the way, we've got Lucan Sarsfields against Nafina. There's also a game running concurrently at O'Toole Park at that stage. At the moment, Craig Kieran taking on Ballyboden St Enda's. We're going to try and bring you a score of that if we possibly can. Really, that only affects this game if Whitehall Colmcille are losing. At the moment, they're not, so there's not much Craig Kieran could do with a win if they were to beat Ballyboden St Enda's. Ballyboden would still be in the quarterfinals. It's just a matter of whether or not they go through in second or third position for Whitehall Colmcille. It's about making sure they're looking good, but they're not sure. The second half to come. Whitehall Colmcille 15 points, St Jude 6 points.
Stay City Apart Hotels. Half apartment, half hotel. Warm beds, comfy sofas, and fully equipped kitchens. We offer guests more, so you can do more. Cook, sleep, work, play. Welcoming, accommodating, and big beds for jumping. Smart travellers choose Stay City because Stay City is the smart choice. Stay City, half apartment, half hotel, all across Europe. Save 10% every time you book at staycity.com.
We're delighted to extend the partnership with Go Ahead Ireland. They're an organisation that serves communities all over Dublin and helps serve our club members around the county, and it's been a brilliant partnership for the last 3 years, and we're delighted to extend for a further 2 years.
Like us, Dublin GAA are embedded in their community, so it was a really natural fit. For us, it was important to find a partner that was inclusive, but also had that community identity, and that's exactly what we found in Dublin GAA. Since we started the partnership, they've been really easy to work with, and we're really excited to continue the journey together.
In those 3 years, we actually accomplished a lot with Dublin GAA. We were privileged to be able to work with both local and national charities with them, as well as working on several GAA initiatives.
This partnership allows us to support Club League and Championship with initiatives such as our Dubs TV live streaming platform. We try and stream as many games as possible, particularly during the Championship season where we can from a logistical point of view around grounds, and that is something we will continue to try and deliver over the coming years and keep enhancing Club Championship product and club leagues around the county across all 4 codes.
In the coming months, we're going to be continuing growing our services. And while we do that, that means that we'll be serving more GAA community clubs than ever before.
This year alone, we're going to be introducing the Development Fund for Accessibility as part of our partnership, which is going to see core infrastructure at Dublin GAA developed. In the summer, we're also introducing the Go Ahead Ireland Dublin LGFA Summer Skills Camps, which will be held in July and August.
As Dublin's best performing public bus operator, we're going to continue to work really hard on delivering for our customers and our communities.
One of my favourite places to grab a coffee in Dublin is Bua. It's one of these kind of COVID coffee trucks that popped up and it's kind of developed into this bit of a social hub. I'll always find myself being drawn back to social fabric. It's just a beautiful place to go. They always have consistently good food there. Bar 1661. So I love watching them make the cocktails, shake it up, garnish it, serve it. Howth village itself is a lovely little kind of seaside town. The Gravity Bar up on the top floor of the storehouse, and it's just an amazing place, an amazing view of Dublin City. Definitely visit Temple Bar and take in what's there. My advice would be just try your best to see other parts of the city. Brian Fenton, this is my Dublin.
It has to be Tang on Abbey Street. You can't beat their flatbreads with the chickpeas and spicy chicken. It's Irish owned, great food, great people. Shoe Lane beside Tara Street train station. It was close to Trinity where I went to college. They have nice croissants, fruit scones. If you're ever looking for a quiet place to go and chat with your mates, the Snug and Chaplin's has to be the go-to. Lovely old interior. Just have to get the dart out to Vico Baths, bring the swimming togs, go for a dip, and you get a lovely view of Killiney Bay. The Epic Museum, I think it's something nice to just figure out the history of the city. You have to go and visit a GAA or hurling or camogie game. It's the most amazing atmosphere. It's going to be an unforgettable experience. Cian O'Sullivan, this is my Dublin.
Tribeca in Ranelagh. I'd go with my family, it's a favourite of ours. Definitely recommend trying their wings. The Metro Cafe, it's a great spot for people watching, especially when it's sunny outside. An oat milk cappuccino would be my go-to. The atmosphere in Devitt is always brilliant. We've had plenty of team nights out there, always great crack. The Timber Trove Cafe in the Dublin Mountains, it's a really cosy family-run cafe. Family House would definitely be a must visit. They have monthly markets on which are gorgeous. I would advise you to walk around the city because most of the main attractions are close by and you can get there quicker on foot. Niamh Gannon, this is my Dublin.
Kyo's Cafe in Portobello. I really like going back just for the vibe. It's nice and chill, people are really cool. Trails Cafe in Ticknock. The coffee is really, really good. Americano, small bit of milk, and you're good to go and hit the trails. Blue Light is always a nice roaring fire. We tend to go up after All Ireland final week. It's a really nice place to be. I'd recommend getting out to Poolbeg Lighthouse. It's a great walk out. You get a great view back of the city. If you get the chance, I'd go up to Ticknock, go up and rent a mountain bike. Trails up there are pretty cool. Bring a raincoat, a shower's never too far away. Orla Nolan, this is my Dublin.
We met down in Fairview and Kieran's brother was a friend of my brother's. We met through them, so when I was coming up to the Debs, I invited Kieran to my Debs. He asked me to marry him and I said yes, so long as our firstborn child played for Vincent's. And he said okay, grand. It's great to have our family involved as well. I suppose if the kids weren't as interested in it as we were, it'd be very tough on us.
Kieran's are playing Vincent's. The tension in the house is gas. Mum is obviously Vincent's and Dad is Kieran, so Mum always claims that she'll give John steak for dinner and she won't feed Kevin. But it's always a bit of a laugh, but I suppose no one takes it too seriously.
She had her hands full. She could have got the job as a bus driver. The amount of dropping off and picking up she did from matches around. Leaving some matches early to go to another match to make sure she got the end of that, or make sure we all got the same amount of attention. There was no favourites.
It means everything. I don't know what we'd do without it, to be fair. We eat, drink and sleep it.
It's always through the family like the rest of us. There's not enough supporting words, I'd say.
I know my whole life at this rate.
We're very proud parents. That's a huge achievement to have 100% of your family still playing. We're proud of them all, every one of them.
My name is Niamh Heatherton.
My name is John Heatherton. I'm Kieran Heatherton.
I'm Patsy Heatherton, and as a family,
our roots are set in the GAA.
Ground Force probably is the absolute heart of this club, both in their ethos, the amount of work they do, and just the pure love they have for Naomh Marnoga and the GAA in general. In simplest terms, we probably couldn't function without Ground Force.
I suppose the GAA was always a bit more than hitting the ball or hitting the schlitter, you know, and it gave a great sense of community to people.
I suppose at my age, fear of retirement, worried about the unknown, what am I going into a home under my wife's feet all the time or something like that, and then we just got this men's initiative started off. We feel that we're giving something back to the club that gave so much to us. We come up here on a rotary basis and line pitches, cut grass. It kind of empowers us as well if we feel valued.
We're all friends, we're all retired, we're all around the same age group. Some of us have nothing outside of our work, and Ground Force has been a big change for everybody from a mental well-being point of view. It's really, really important and really significant, and there is great camaraderie amongst the group.
So I think there's about 30 odd men in this initiative that comes up to the club and has a chat, and the coffee is important as well. We sort out the world, Dad.
Yeah. Or well, most of it.
Yeah.
That's what it means to me, just achievement and pride.
Welcome back to the second half of this go-ahead Dublin Senior 1 Hurling Championship encounter of Whitehall, Colmcille and St Judes. It's an 8-point gap, Whitehall leading by 14 points to 6. Ballyboden 115 to 1-4 in front against Crave Kieran over in O'Toole Park. Ballyboden looking like they're going to secure second spot. Whitehall, Colmcille, a win for them or a draw for them will ensure a spot in the quarter-finals. St Vincent's have already won this group, so they're straight through to the semi-finals, which is a bit of a double-edged sword. I mean, yes, you go straight through, but you lose out on a game. So for some teams it works, for some it does not. Just depends on the season and what's going on and what kind of state your team is in and all that. For Vincent's, it's a long time without a game because obviously this is their bye weekend. So they'll have not played for what, 5-6 weeks?
More.
Yeah.
Because it's the same happened to Lucan last year, Oisín.
That's right,
you know, they missed the last weekend and then there was a 4-week gap too, like, so you're nearly 8-week gap.
Okay.
And managers, you're going around the country then looking for challenge games to kind of kick, because you can train as much as you want. But look, that's a good start to the second half. Danny won the ball there straight away for Judes, and I'm sure there was a few honest words inside in the dressing room because, you know, you're 8 points behind, you score 6 points in a championship game, it's just not good enough, and the Judes lads will know that, so it's a big free now for Joe
McManus, who scored a free earlier on. It's just veering off a little bit. He's unlucky. There is a bit of a breeze there.
Like he's just look, they're devoid nearly of confidence at the minute, and as you saw it in the first half, that usual aggression is not in their game. Yeah. They've had a tough year now, and somebody said earlier on, you're looking at maybe 2 or 3 years now where they've been in that kind of relegation dogfight, and you don't want to be there now in 2 weeks' time.
Remember, the bottom two in the group go to those relegation semi-finals, and if you lose, then you're going down because 2 go up, 2 go down.
Yeah, and the other group already decided, obviously, with Bridget's and McCool as well. So, like, you wouldn't want to be facing either of the two of them now in a relegation game.
Taps it over. Good score. Let's have a look.
Yeah, he came out that dirty kind of ruck there as well and just pops it off and off his right hand side. Another good score for Whitehall.
Judes battling to try and get the possession, but it's Mikey Noonan who has it. Noonan goes to ground, he's fouled, it's a free in.
I don't know, I think the first one maybe, now somebody's up and said something again and Sean's bringing it up, but the first one I thought maybe, but like Judes have to try and get aggressive on this now as well, and Danny's already on a yellow, so he needs to be careful. He didn't actually go into the contact for that ball.
And Mikey Noonan took a bit of a knock there. They've already lost a player through injury, Conor Cummins having to replace Cian Murphy in the first half. They'll hope that he'll just get the magic spray and continue on. That he will. And Spellisy misses, most unusually for him.
I thought that was over myself, to be honest, but maybe on the left way it looked over from here.
Ger McManus back to O'Reilly. Well, they have a better view. Nugent. Good ball, McManus. McLaughlin, I beg your pardon. Gray tried to get out in front. He did go out in front, but he was followed all the way by Thorpe, who just made it difficult for him. Trying to intercept here is Diarmuid McLaughlin. Diarmuid McLaughlin. It's a break for St. Jude's. Is it a break that will get them back into this game? McLaughlin takes the score, takes the opportunity.
Yeah, good score, and again on the right hand side had a player, I think it was Carty on the right hand side, that had just kind of split off maybe with the opportunity. I think they're going to need a goal to really get back into it, Oisín. But that's a poor score to give away by Whitehall.
Murray gets away from McDermott, trying to run onto this one is Connolly. Good play by Costello, kind of comes off Niall O'Connor. McDermott spills out of play by Kieran McLaughlin. Line ball for Whitehall, Colmcille. McDermott's going to leave it off for Costello, or is he? No, he's not. Costello's not going to take it, neither is McDermott. Coming up is Eddie Moran, who can hit these. Eddie Moran. It bounces, and O'Reilly is not cut out by it. We saw Crokes keeper cut out by a bounce a couple of weeks ago. Maybe when the ground was that bit firmer, it's that bit more difficult. The sting taken out of the bounce, but it was well defended by St. Jude's. Now it's an attack from St. Jude's. Here's James Nugent. Intercepted easily. Eddie Moran.
That's killing them, like, you know, that ball in on top when you have an extra defender inside, because they have one back here. It's Judes need to push up now and press it. That's
Alan Connolly went long. It's a really good ball. Carty looking to snipe this one over. Oh, he's unlucky.
It was a great ball in again, giving the forward a chance out the outside as well, so the defender has to kind of come around them, and that's what that's what they look back on if they have to look at improvements for the next day. Just the type of ball that they're giving into young Graham and Carty inside at times, it's nearly unwinnable at times.
Murray goes long, looking for Costello. It breaks for O'Donnell, but he's got half of St. Jude's around him, and taking an injury there was Owen McLaughlin. He goes to ground, referee with the whistle in the mouth. Jude's trying to come away with the ball. They've defended it really well. McLaughlin is still on the ground. Flicked off for the runner. Hogan finds McManus. Jude's playing with a bit of impetus, a bit of intensity. McManus gets the shot away.
You see one here, there's definitely a free. Got hit high hit. It could be a card here as well, maybe, possibly.
McManus lining up the free. The free his team desperately need. That's a good score, and a much needed score. It is O'Donnell. And it is a score.
Just makes it look so simple. At times it looks like he's not even thinking, or doing anything at all, and just up in the sky, wins the ball and bang over the bar like a good score. And again, they're doing that linear kind of ball, that puck out where they're bunching and breaking, but that just was straight on top of O'Donnell's head, and an easy score again.
Graham inside, good ball to Malone. Malone bounces back up and somehow gets the pass away. He's after finding Alan Connolly. They haven't given up on this one. Malone took it again. McManus. O'McLaughlin. If that goes over at some point, it has. O'McLaughlin.
Great score. He's the extra defender now at the moment. McLaughlin just sitting in front of O'Donnell, which is obviously the tactic that Judes are looking at in the second half. They're going to have one man on top of him, and then somebody sitting inside, so Owen can't be dragged over across the field here now.
Owen O'Donnell trying to get in under this one. He's being held up very well. Keeper takes it. Ger McManus. He's been around a while, hasn't he, Ger McManus?
Great guy though. Like, even when Judes were hitting county finals, like it's very rare that you see Ger having a poor game.
Yeah, he's such a solid defender, such a good defender, such a club stalwart. Running after this one is John Carty. Sweeping it away from him, Cummins.
Whitehall's defence have been really strong all year, Oisin. It's something that they've obviously worked on. Some of their players, like they're really in your face, aggressive, winning that dirty ball on the ground, and they're winning that first and second ball, which is now they'll come up against, if they have to hit a quarter final, they're going to come up against a fair different opposition next. But you saw against Vincent's, they're well able to mix it with some of the top teams as well when they're going.
Roll for the run of Conor Nolan. Nolan pushed off it by McCarthy. Literally, it's a foul. He's actually saying, I think, jersey tug, is he? Either way, free in for St. Jude's.
I think the ball on the ground, he made that kind of.
Okay. Well, from the St. Jude's point of view, all that matters is you have the free and the chance to stay within Whitehall Colmcille.
Yeah, keep tipping away, get it back to kind of 4 or 5 points, then you put that little bit of doubt in there, maybe put Danny in a 14, get the ball. If they're going to hit that big high ball inside, what better man to have under it, but that's a poor wide. Just hasn't gone for him today at all on the frees. Down here he missed one, that's another one that he's capable of getting in. Your free taker, I keep saying it, it's such a huge thing for any team that wants to, no matter what level you're at, if you want to push the next level up, you have to have a free taker that's consistent, and Paddy has been excellent for Whitehall today, and unfortunately it just hasn't worked for Joe like that.
Conor Sheedy's in, Niall O'Connor goes off. Sheedy stepping right into that full forward line, the 3-man full forward line. Obviously I'm seeing that, you're not. Murray is still looking up, assessing his options for the puck out. Jude's also making a change by the looks of it. Heading off is Alan Connolly. And into the game is Finbar Wardick. Murray goes long, goes deep. O'Donnell looking for it. Taken out of the sky brilliantly by Cormac Costello. Got it outside. It's Raftery. Raftery might get away here. Raftery still going. Raftery! Good save. It comes back to Raftery, and it's a point.
It's a point. He's very like the young Brian Hayes for Kilmacud, the way he travels the ground. Like, he has that sense of it's a real athletic running the way he goes. But what a save, and then had an opportunity to come back off the rebound as well. Great save up front, and really fast wrist as well to get the hurl to the second time.
Brilliant wrist. Eddie Moran chasing after this loose one, but he's beaten to it brilliantly by McManus. A man who will absolutely never give up. Kieran McLaughlin. Spilled by Sutcliffe, allowing Gray to get stuck into him, and Gray gets the sliotar, and McDermott is calling for it, as is Raftery. Raftery takes it, one to beat. Raftery lets the ball do the work.
Loads of space in front of this fella now.
Costello, he'll take it on. No, he'll go inside to O'Donnell. Just gets away from O'Donnell, but O'Donnell doesn't give up on this one. Will it go to red and white or blue? It goes to red and white, and Sheedy, and a miss.
Yeah, Costello straight away acknowledged O'Donnell. He'd loads of ground in front of him on the run there. He kind of thought he would have went himself because he did in the first half, but just gave a poor ball to Owen, which didn't allow him to have any real chance of getting it in his hand.
Easy to say from up here, but should he have just tapped it over?
Got himself, like, maybe go for it, like you're... Yeah.
Diarmaid McLaughlin battling for it. Diarmaid McLaughlin trying to get away from Dara Gray. Diarmaid McLaughlin does well. Does this one have the legs? Yes, it does. Does it have the accuracy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Simple one, the dirty ball on the ground again, you know, and like the legs, he has that every time. Surprised me why he doesn't take it on more. He's loads of athleticism, really fast player, and look, that's a good score for Judes. If they can keep at it, just keep adding one or two to give themselves a chance.
Judes are winning dirty balls here. They're getting forward, getting opportunities, but just as I say, that Whitehall Colmcille look to win one of their own, and they've given away the free. Ross O'Reilly thought about coming up to take it. Instead, it will be another option, and that option is Kieran Hogan. It'll drop in around the square. Jude's only have one in there. Kellett tidies it up. Gets it down the line for Eddie Moran. Moran. Spellisy takes it well. Paddles it down the line, looking for Raftery. Raftery, who has power and pace. And accuracy.
Great score, and Enda was flying through the middle there as well, probably looking for the ball, didn't give it to him, but good score off the left. And Whitehall have been doing that all day, where they, you know, they come back to 5 or 6 or 7, and they just tend to get a couple of scores and make it look easier. It's a poor ball.
Well, Raftery, he's one of those players, he doesn't look like he's huge, but he is very strong, and he's fast and he's accurate and he's skillful. One of those players I've really enjoyed watching this season. He's dynamic, I think is the way to put it. And he clearly has kept an eye on Cormac Costello growing up. You can see similarities. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful.
Paddy loves that. Now he'll be showing that out in the house and rush this evening. That's a serious score. Well, like, you know, it's a serious skill in itself. So
he got that ball under his Spellisy. I'll leave, right? Good luck, thanks.
Oh, good night.
You've given me some dirty looks over the years. That was the dirtiest. Mikey Noonan, is it good night for St. Jude's? It could be if this goes over. And even if it doesn't, 10 points between them, 15 minutes left. St. Jude's need to pull something out of the bag here. And just keep working the scoreboard is one piece of advice, but they will need a goal at some point, you feel. Here's Owen McLaughlin. A point will do for now.
Yeah, he's got it.
It's a good one by Owen McLaughlin.
That's 2 from Owen, like at half back. You'd have to add up the tally inside of what the 6 forwards are. That's the disappointment for Jude today. They just don't seem to be getting anything from their forward unit at all. Callum has shown well, but it just hasn't. Had a couple of poor wides, but again, a young guy.
Referee allows the contest to continue, which is good. He's trying to let it flow, isn't he, Sean McCarthy? Sheedy. Owen O'Donnell and Costello follow this one in. It is Costello, but it's wide.
Yeah, look, in fairness, Sean, he's let it go. He doesn't like to talk back at all. Like he's nearly booked people for talking back as much as he has for physical. So, you know, he just likes to know that he's in charge. And in fairness, when he is, like, if you talk back at all, he'll move the ball or he will show a card. Danny has it here now.
Have they another score? No, they don't.
5 or 6 really wides, Oisin, that could have them really so much closer in the game. And they'll be disappointed with that. They're going to face into a relegation game now against either Coola or Bridget's possibly, and like that's or Crave. That's going to be a hell of a battle to try and stay in Senior A hurling. Unless, of course, that there is a change to the format next year and they include more teams.
And that's a wide. It's nervy at the moment out there, isn't it? Remember,
it's
next
not
week.
the championship bite that we thought earlier on either. Like, we thought that there would be a real steal in it, and there's not that in it.
Down the line it goes from Hogan. Carty. Oh, he tried to flick it inside, but O'Donnell was there to block it. Back to O'Donnell it goes from Costello. Eddie Moran back to O'Donnell. Mikey Noonan. That's a good ball to a man in plenty of space. He's all the time in the world to pick his spots, Spellisy.
Put it wide, and sometimes that happens when you have too much time, you know, with nobody inside there as well, nobody marking him.
Alrighty. Alone. Raftery following him. Noonan trying to cut this one out, but it does find its target. Wardock.
I've got with Danny inside now.
Wardock shuffled and shot.
Good score.
And scored. A good one as well. He's first since coming in. Ballyboden leading by 19 points to 11 when last we heard. So 19-12 the score. Ballyboden still leading against Crave Kieran. So Ballyboden look like they're going to get second in the group. Change being made, going off is Conor Nolan. O'Donnell just slips through his fingers, he's unlucky.
Not back far enough, I'd say, is the call there. Now again, if you have Danny in there, there's 10 minutes, 12 minutes to go in your championship, as in to get to quarter final. You're going to have to give the ball into him and give him a chance to win it as well.
Well, it's win or bust for St. Jude's, and even win might not be enough, but why not go for it? Well, as it stands, win would be enough for St. Jude's, but it's not looking likely. That's when you take into consideration the other game in the group. It kind of depended on what happened elsewhere, but at the moment a win would do for St. Jude's. A draw or a victory will do for Whitehall Colmcille. Here's Owen McLaughlin.
That's great heart and fairness, like you're 7-8 points down and things are not looking good and you need a bit of leadership there, and he wins the dirty ball on the ground and again gets the late hurl around the neck.
And O'Reilly will take this one. Sutcliffe is in the square. O'Reilly, this one's going to drop. Someone's lost a hurley. It is Sutcliffe.
Danny has it.
He can play football too. Goes to ground. Is it a penalty? Referee says no. Play continues. We might get another look at that. Here's McDermott.
No, he was always going to make a lot of it, but
is it the fact that he looked at the ref that nearly didn't help him there? Here's Thorpe.
Maybe.
Endo O'Donnell gets his pass away. Whitehall, Colmcille go long. One-on-one battle here. Costello and his man. Costello tries to get on the end of the break. His hurley was being held and it's a free in. Well, let's have a look at that penalty incident.
Oh, jeez, Oisin, I think that's not a penalty. It looks to me anyway. Well, again, your I suppose inter-county status as a hurler, as a player, maybe would say more, but look, jeez. Dara Gray was looking at him rather than looking at the ball, and then there's 2 or 3 lads dragging over him as well. But
look, I think penalty as well, to be fair. I'm only giving my opinion because you kind of asked it. Here's Spellisy. Spellisy puts it over.
Yeah, good score by Paddy. He's only missed one today, and again, whether that one was wide or not, it was probably a contentious one. But so he's on top of his frees today and got a great score as well earlier on. So
Jude's not done yet. They'll feel aggrieved that they should have had a penalty. Malone goes outside. Here comes McLaughlin. And McLaughlin puts it, well, let's wait, wide. Well, the umpire on the other side, the near side, was kind of leaning towards his flag. In fairness, the flag goes up. In fairness, that's good officiating.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Oisin, going back even to if it was a penalty or not, I think there's 4 or 5 scores today that Judes have left behind, 2 frees and definitely 3 or 4 as well, that they're capable of getting on a better day.
And in fairness to Sean McCarthy, he used these officials well there, and the point was awarded. So it's 20 points to 13, a 7-point gap. Whitehall, Colmcille leading, but not comfortable. 8 minutes to go, but They have got the free in now, or the decision. They have got the line ball, I should say. Every time there's a stoppage, I'm kind of looking at the group table.
Permutations, yeah.
Whitehall, Colmcille would be third at the moment. Ballyboden and St Enda's would be second. And Crave Kieran and Judes would be fourth or fifth. Either way, they'd be in the bottom two. They both came into today on 1 point. Wardock. Judes playing a little bit better in the second half. Winding up is Hogan. Is that a go or is that dropping inside? It's going to drop in around the end line and wide.
Yeah, that's a killer, especially with the two lads inside and Danny in there looking for ball as well.
I don't know if Jerry Carty and his team are kind of filtering in the scores to St Jude's. I'm sure they've been told, look, a win is enough. A win will get you through.
I think the next game is going to be interesting to see who really goes to that one, because Nafina, big chance there now to really solidify what's been a consistent year for them so far. Lucan were nearly out the last day, apart from that bit of steal at the end for Bellew to run at the ball, and we were here and they were going out of the championship, they're going into a possibility of a relegation game.
Joe McManus, there's an impetus about St Jude's at the moment, but unfortunately they missed the opportunity. As you say, Joe, they've left scores behind.
They have 6 wides that are going to be 6-7 wides that are going to be really disappointed with, and it's just so unlike them. I thought earlier on, after about 10 minutes, the heads were down. They needed somebody to really kind of, to lift the spirit, and it just didn't come in the first half really.
Jude's battling for absolutely everything at the moment. Here's Hogan.
It's poor rushing, isn't it? It's dropped the last while. It's dropped an awful lot. It's very, very scrappy. Touch has been poor. O'Donnell's that are hurting his ankle there now. You can see him hand up straight away.
O'Reilly, the keeper, with plenty of room to move into. O'Reilly goes long. His team need a goal. Sutcliffe trying to get in under this one. Sutcliffe gets his hurley to it. Now, can he win the break? No, he can't. Not first time. It comes to McManus. McManus. Wide.
Just nothing happening for him today. Freeze or from play. O'Donnell looks in a bit of trouble down there with the ankle. He's limping quite heavily on it, so just seemed to be a knockout enough.
Well, it's a tough call for Rob Wade to make, isn't it? Because do you leave O'Donnell out there and potentially aggravate the injury, or do you try and get him off the field and make sure he's okay for the quarter-finals? Because at the moment, that's where they're on the way to.
That fella, if he got a bit of hurling, into him, he has everything that you'd want. His left, right, athleticism, and I know, look, obviously the football manager wouldn't thank you for saying it, but he still has so much. He's in and out of the game an awful lot because he's not playing enough hurling, but he still has so many attributes that you could make a serious player out of.
That's a great catch. Advantage being played. Wardock tries to send it on. We'll come back for the free. You wonder, will he just tap this one over or drop it in? It is John Carty.
Yeah, they've changed the free taker now because it hasn't been working out for Joe at all today. So I'll put this one over the bar, and like you watch, you have 6-7 minutes left. You need to get that ball into Danny, and on top of Danny, although Dara Gray has done really well on today.
And they take the score. 7 between them. Don't forget, this is the first of 2 games today. Coming up later, Lucan Sars against Nafina. And they've made a change. St Jude's in the game now is Padraig McNally. Heading off is Joe McManus.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed, and he's been you've mentioned the word stalwart earlier on. He's been one of the stalwarts of them for a long time. Just hasn't gone well for him today. Freeze or from play, just wasn't himself. So he'll have to lift it now, because in 2 weeks' time he's going to have to. He's a serious game ahead for the club, for the hurling people out there, not to drop back.
At the moment, St Jude's heading to that relegation final, if you want to put it that way. Here's Enda O'Donnell, who's helped send them there, but he gives it away. There is hope for Judes. They won't give up. We've seen that today, even when things haven't been going their way. That's well defended. He got out in front and scooped it to McDermott. McDermott wants it back. McDermott gives it Kelly. Kelly kind of left it behind, trying to steal in and take it as Connolly, or I beg your pardon, that is the new man in, McNally, and it's a free in.
Yeah, good call by Sean. Did well there, like had to fight for it. When you come in, you're 7 or 8 points down, you don't get much thanks for it. It's a big free here now for him as well, because there's still 5 minutes. If they were to get a goal, they'd put a bit of fear into Whitehall, but Whitehall have control today, like at ease as well, not really raising the gallop. Like, ball that went into O'Donnell earlier on, he was just unmarkable, and we haven't really seen much of him in the second half because there hasn't been a real need apart from that one great score he got. No.
Murray overcooks it, but luckily Luke McCarthy was there. Luke McCarthy on the move. Lost his hurley, went backwards to Endo O'Donnell. Endo O'Donnell, good running by McDermott on the underlap. McDermott tries to give it back to the runner. That was Owen O'Donnell, but it's St. Jude's ball. Ger McManus, like a bull, and he is blown for charging.
Suppose for Whitehall there now, and you've had a good, like, you're 6 points up. They've played okay. They've done what they had to do. They'd love to create that goal scoring chance. They had 2 of them and didn't take them. Cormac had one at the start of the first half, and then in the second half, they had a really, really good opportunity running down the centre. I think it was with Luke that time. So it's like they're going to face a much stronger opposition when it comes to a quarter final. Have they enough in the tank to really go out a quarter final? I think they have. They've impressed me every day this year. I've seen them. They've been consistently good. Got a great point. Probably should have beaten Vincent's, apart from that late goal by Keane. So it's all to play for them now in a couple of weeks, and Judes will face into a really tough test against either Bridget's or Coola.
Whitehall Colmcille are on their way to the quarter-finals. O'Donnell. Costello will run onto this one. Costello gets it into the lava. Costello has a go. Mangan got something on his hurley, but will it go over anyway? No. Costello breaks his hurley. O'Reilly. Eddie Moran. Good lift by Eddie Moran, aiming it down towards Sheedy, trying to get in there as well as Spatlessy, but it's St. Jude's who have it. Going long is Diarmuid McLaughlin. Breaks kindly for Whitehall Colmcille. Well picked up by Eddie Moran. Kellett. Flicked off the stick of Noonan. It does stay in play. And it comes back kindly for Conor Cummins, who's done well since coming on in the first half. Here is Cummins. Cummins might have a go. Cummins does have a go. And good Cummins score, has a score.
Good score. And Cormac was 1-on-1 inside, but a good score.
Well, it's not about if for Whitehall Colmcille now, is it? It's about by how much. Here's McManus. McManus being closed down by Raftery. Has to go into the square. Points no good to St. Jude's at the moment. It is attacked, but it's a free out.
I don't know what for there, to be honest, again.
Murray. O'Donnell, who has recovered from his ankle injury, getting under that one. Sheedy there as well. They're just making it stick. They've battled for absolutely everything today. Raftery tried to pick it up. Now he does get to it. Raftery having a go. He's fouled. It's a free in.
And I'd say that'll be the last play of the game, Oisin, to be honest. it'll give Paddy a chance now to hit a score over here from that just under beside his own management there as well. Whitehall have done enough. Judes will be very disappointed with their first half, especially. Came back to it a little bit in the second half, but just didn't really raise a gallop in the first half, and scoring 5 or 6 points is just not good enough in Championship hurling at this level.
Shouldn't make a difference in the grand scheme of things, but Spellacy, being the perfectionist that he is, will want to put this one over. And he has. In towards the square it goes. Can they get the goal they desperately require, desperately want, desperately need? They have the free in. It will be Sutcliffe, and he will go for it. But he won't have a whole pile of afterwards, regardless of what happens this time.
Has to go to the keeper's right here now.
Sutcliffe. Good save by Murray. Comes back for McNally. And it's deflected out at the 65.
Just nothing seemed to have gone right for Judes at all. Like, if you look at their free taking, just a couple of very unfortunate wides.
They're trying to work the goal here. Sheedy steals in and gets it back. Good play by him. But we'll have to go again. Well, when we get the final score from O'Toole Park, we'll know if Whitehall, Colmcille have gone through in second or third position. When last we heard Ballyboden well on top against Craig Kieran. Well, Whitehall, Colmcille don't know if it's second or third, but what they do know is that they are through to the quarterfinals with a good victory here, 24 points to 14 against St. Jude's. St. Jude's battled and they tried. It just didn't seem to happen for them today. They now have a relegation final to, well, I was going to say look forward to. You don't really look forward to a game like that, but they have to get the heads up and keep the concentration. And if they play like they played today and work as hard as they did today, then they have a chance. But today is a disappointment. However, for Whitehall, Colmcille, it's joy. They're through to the last 8.
Yeah, Whitehall are through. It's a big day for them as a club. You know, they've made improvements over the course of the last 12 months, which they deservedly are in a quarter final now. And the historians, or the Dublin hurling historians, will tell you how long it's been since that's happened. But look, when you come up from Senior B as well, the easy thing to say is to go straight back down. And in fairness to Whitehall, they've improved. Judes will be very, very disappointed, I think, with today. Overall, Oisín, they're just that bit of fight is not what it was in them that I've seen over the last 5 or 6 years. And you feel for some of the stalwarts that are out there. They've got some really good young players coming through at under 20 level and minor level with Dublin too, but they're going to need them soon. And what you don't want, and again, depending on what happens with the restructuring, is there going to be, I think this is the second or third year, this is the last year of it, so we'd hopefully get rid of Mr. Boy, because in a table it just doesn't look right. And whether that means that 2 teams may stay up or whatever, will it add more teams to senior hurling? I don't know, but for Judes today wasn't good enough, and they'll realise that, and it's something to look at going forward. You see Dara Gray down there delighted. You know, it's when you come back from the county set up to the club, you know, you want to really progress and push on, and in fairness, they've had a good year this year, so they'll face a serious opposition now in the quarter final, so they've that to look forward to in 2 weeks.
Well, let's have a look at the highlights of this game, a game that makes far better viewing for white and red than it does for navy and light blue.
Overall, we were probably, look, when you're here every week and you're enjoying, you know, being part of the commentary and stuff, just today was poor standard in lots of ways. This fella was just, when he needed to be, he was excellent. He was excellent in the first half when it was level scores. Just then as the game petered out, we didn't see as much of him, but he caught some serious ball. Again, the brother, you know, at times I thought was absolutely exceptional coming through the middle. Paddy was very good on the frees. Missed one, I think, all day. Had one wide over on the left hand side in the second half when he was on his own. But Whitehall did enough. Like, they got through ball. You know, any time that Owen's inside, like, he just he is such an aggressor on the ball, both from a defensive and an offensive point of view, and he gave Gerard torrid time in the first kind of 15 minutes or so. Top McManus did well though after that. Cormac had a chance here possibly for a goal, has to hit it low, no point in hitting it up that high. Jude's keeper, made a good save there. Something I think they need to improve on is just their speed of puck out. I think it's a split second too slow at times, and Danny and others make runs out to the side, and I think that's something that they have to improve on. But again, there was an opportunity here for the younger of the O'Donnells to possibly go through and to run at them. I think they're going to need goals though, and with this fella, like he's capable of scoring them all right, but they didn't need him today. But I think in the quarter final to possibly get through to a semi-final it'll be something that's needed.
They did have opportunities for them.
They did have opportunities, and so did Judes as well. At times, just put ball in. Like I think it was a penalty on Danny. I'm sure we'll see it again, but maybe others, when you're sitting at home, it may be somewhat easier sometimes to see it. But for me, it was a penalty. Whitehall had a great opportunity. Look at that. Like that's just. But you'd expect that because it's an inter-county standard hurler, and it's just he's like a bear up there. And they're not going to take him out of there now for a quarter final either, because sometimes you get a bit more defensive. Judes, I just think I like Callum. I think he's a good young player. I think he's really light and quick on the feet. Just a couple of poor wides in the first half probably stunned his confidence a bit, but he'll learn from it. Dara Gray I thought was excellent today at times. Had to shut Danny out, and it's not an easy. Danny can be one of the best in the country when he's on form, and just today Dara probably got the better of him. Joe will be disappointed on his frees. He got one there, just didn't happen for him today. I'd probably overemphasise it, but the free taker is so important. There's a great score by Dara Gray, but again, all coming from O'Donnell winning his own ball. Ball goes to hand out the field. When they have to come back out to O'Donnell, they do, and again over the bar. So it was the O'Donnell show in the first half. Judes did tighten that up a bit in the second half, but they don't have that scoring threat that they need to really push on. I don't think Judes at the moment.
Just to confirm, it is in third place they go through, because Ballyboden St Enda's have beaten Crave Kieran 126 to 216, the final score in O'Toole Park. So Ballyboden second, Whitehall Colmcille third, and St Vincent's, we already knew, group winners.
Yeah, and Vincent's have a long break now, and again, that went against, I'm sure Pat will manage that. I don't know if there's a person who has more experience to manage that break, because that went against Lucan last year. I think the next game is going to be intriguing, to be honest, because for me, what do Nafina and Lucan really want to do here? Do you want to avoid, like you said, that 4-week gap? It's maybe you do, depending on the age profile of your players as well, but there's nothing wrong with a good quality, hard quarter-final leader to keep morale going.
Well, if you win your quarter-final and semi-final, then you took the right route. If you lose it, then you didn't. St Jude's got some nice scores today, just not enough of them. They did create opportunities, but Raftery was a real thorn in their side.
Yeah, he has loads of pace. I probably likened him to young Brian from Kilmacud. He's loads of pace, very athletic. Just, I don't know, just up front today, Judes, it just didn't click for them really. In fairness, he worked hard. McLaughlin worked hard all day. Carty tried hard. Like young Callum was doing really well too, trying really hard. But look, you need to be scoring goals. You need to get a big, 5-6 points in the first half. Just wasn't good enough. This was a serious cut from Paddy, a great score.
I have checked with Whitehall Colmcille, by the way, because I couldn't think of a time or couldn't find a time when they were in a quarter-final, a Senior 1 quarter-final. I've just got to confirm they've never been in a Senior 1 quarter-final. So that tells you how big a deal this victory is for them today. Now, they're not wildly celebrating or anything like that, but it is a big one for them, and it's a little bit of history for the club.
It is, and you can see there's some great men on the line for them over there too, and from Whitehall, and you can see that it means a lot. What I like about them is what you said earlier on. They give back to the club too, and they're involved with, be it in coaching capacities, be it in the club or with development squads, which is hugely important. So you can see Cormac coming off there as well. Now he'll be sore after that, because when you play that game's a little bit different than when you're playing, when you're being minded a lot. But look, he made a difference. I think he's an exceptional talent at hurling too. At underage he was, but look, it's a good day for Whitehall. It's a very disappointing day for Judes. Will they regroup? Yes. Will they have to have a serious look at themselves? Yes. But they're going to be facing into a game now against Coola or Bridget's, and that's going to be a serious battle, Oisín.
And for Whitehall Colmcille, another update from my man in the know. 1981, they got to a semi-final. That's 42 years ago. It's a long gap. So again, I stand by what I said. History made by them today. Modern history certainly, and Spellacy was a big contributor to that, as he has been over the last couple of years. Whitehall, Colmcille, who, like St Judes, got promoted back last year. These two met in the final. The final, of course, not the big deal in Senior 2. It's actually the semi-final, because if you win that,
You're guaranteed.
you get up. Yep. So that's it. Whitehall, Colmcille are through to the quarterfinals. 6 teams in the quarterfinals, not 8, because 2 group winners go through, and then second and third also go through. So, 4 teams in the quarterfinals, but 6 teams left in the Senior 1 Championship. You know what I mean. Nafina taking on Luke and Sarsfield's up next. We'll also keep an eye on the game that's going on over in O'Toole Park. Don't forget, these games pop up automatically on your feed if you subscribe to the Dublin GAA YouTube channel. Next weekend, it's football. We're returning to football, and you can keep an eye out on the Dublin GAA social media channels for more on that. That's it for the moment. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us.